From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, June 30th. Scattered storms today with a high of 86 degrees. It is hot and humid out there. Today's low is set at 71, and sunset will be at 9:17 tonight. Today, the Indiana State Department of Health announced 385 new COVID-19 cases between June 25th and June 29th. The department also announced 16 additional deaths between May 20th and June 28th. In total, there are 45,594 COVID-19 cases and 2,448 deaths, all related to the virus in Indiana. According to the department, there have been 484,196 tests administered in the state. And according to the Center for Systems Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University, there have been more than 10,424,000 confirmed cases worldwide and more than 5,262,000 recoveries. More than 509,000 deaths. A summer carnival is coming to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. North American Midway Entertainment announced Fairgrounds Fun Park will be held at the fairgrounds from July 31st to September 7th. The event will be open at noon and stop admitting guests at 9 p.m. It will be closed on Mondays and Tuesdays except for Labor Day. Games, rides, and Midway foods will all be present. The company says it will incorporate COVID-19 procedures and operations, including contactless payment options, plexiglass shields to protect food items, and hand sanitizing stations throughout the area. CEO Danny Houston said in a statement, "We are mindful of the current pandemic and will adhere to state and local guidelines and practices to ensure the safety of all guests, staff, and vendors." The Indiana State Fair was canceled for 2020. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis is set to reopen back to the public. The popular Indianapolis attraction will open its doors on July 11th to the general public. The museum says the opening to the public will be at limited capacity. Families wanting to go must reserve a ticket in advance, including members and donors. Face masks will be required in order to enter the museum. Children younger than 2 years old and those with medical challenges will be exempt. The museum says it will deep clean the entire building each night. Each exhibit will get regular cleanings throughout the day. Investigators are offering up to $5,000 for information that helps them catch whoever set fires during the downtown riots in Indianapolis last month. Indiana State Police made the announcement alongside the ATF, the Indiana State Fire Marshal's Office, the Indianapolis Fire Department, and IMPD. Investigators are looking for video or confirmed identities of people who started fires, who made or threw incendiary devices like Molotov cocktails or other arson-related crime that happened on May 29th, May 30th, or May 31st. If you would like to submit a tip, all you have to do is call. That number is 800-382-4682. Top officials in the White House were aware in early 2019 of classified intelligence indicating Russia was secretly offering bounties to the Taliban for the deaths of Americans a full year earlier than has been previously reported. That's according to U.S. officials with direct knowledge of the intelligence. The assessment was included in at least one of President Donald Trump's written daily intelligence briefings at the time. That's according to officials. Then National Security Advisor John Bolton also told colleagues he briefed Trump on the intelligence assessment in March of 2019. In response to those reports, the White House has denied that President Trump was personally briefed on the matter, claiming that the intelligence wasn't verified. U.S. consumer confidence rose in June, reflecting the partial reopening of the country, but the concern is that rising coronavirus cases in many states could jeopardize future gains. The Conference Board, a New York-based research organization, said that its consumer confidence index rose to 98.1 in June, after virtually no change at 85.9 in May. The index remains well below pre-pandemic levels. The Supreme Court has struck down a Louisiana law regulating abortion clinics, reasserting a commitment to abortion rights over fierce opposition from dissenting conservative justices in the first big abortion case of the Trump era. Chief Justice John Roberts joined with his four more liberal colleagues in ruling that the law requiring doctors who perform abortions to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals violates the abortion right the court first announced in the landmark Roe v. Wade decision in 1973. In two previous abortion cases, Roberts had favored restrictions. The Louisiana law is virtually identical to one in Texas that the court struck down in 2016. The European Union has announced it will reopen its borders to travelers from 14 countries, but most Americans have been refused entry for at least another 2 weeks due to soaring coronavirus infections in the U.S. Travelers from other big countries like Russia, Brazil, and India will also miss out. Now, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand are just a few of several countries that will be allowed entry. The EU said China is subject to confirmation of reciprocity, meaning it must lift all restrictions on European citizens entering China before it will allow Chinese citizens back in. And the EU's Aviation Safety Agency says Pakistan's national airline will not be allowed to fly into Europe for at least 6 months. The move today comes after the country's aviation minister revealed that nearly a third of Pakistani pilots had cheated on their pilots' exams. Pakistan International Airlines spokesman Abdullah Hafiz says PIA has not been flying to Europe because of the pandemic, but the airline had hoped to resume its flights to Oslo, Copenhagen, Paris, Barcelona, and Milan within the next 2 months. The former police officer dubbed the Golden State Killer has pleaded guilty to 13 counts of murder in exchange for a life sentence instead of a possible death penalty. Joseph James D'Angelo Jr. had remained almost silent until yesterday when he repeatedly uttered the word guilty in a hushed voice. He admitted dozens of rapes and other crimes too old to be prosecuted as part of a plea deal, sparing him the death penalty. Prosecutors and victims say they do not believe statements D'Angelo muttered to himself, blaming his behavior on an alter ego. One criminologist says most serial killers do not have dual personalities or inner voices. Carl Reiner, the ingenious and versatile comedy writer, actor, and director, has died. Reiner's assistant, Judy Nagy, says that he died yesterday of natural causes at his home in Beverly Hills. He was 98 years old. Reiner, the father of actor and director Rob Reiner, broke through as a second banana to Sid Caesar and rose to comedy's front ranks as the creator of The Dick Van Dyke Show and straight man to Mel Brooks' 2,000-year-old man. The tall, bald Reiner was one of the best-liked men in show business and was a welcome face on the small and silver screens. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.